Three,
No.
two.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the Not Moved podcast. Tonight we got LG joining the stage. Tonight we're also going over the NFC and AFC East, giving our predictions and what we think is going to happen in those two. Um, I'm gonna just start it off by going with the AFC East, and I'm gonna
I'm gonna
go
go.
over. I'm gonna go over last year's you know win loss records with everybody. Uh, the Bills were 13-4. The Dolphins were 8-9. The Jets were 5-12, and the Patriots were 4-13. All right. For me personally, what I'm gonna go with next year's guess for what win loss record is gonna be. I'm gonna go with the Bills at 14-3, winning the division. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins going 9-8. I'm also going to have the Patriots going 9-8, tying for second in the division, and then I'm going to have the Jets going 6-11. So I think the Jets will actually finish last in that division. To me, the Bills are still the best team in that division, and I think nothing changes. We still don't know what I mean. Tua is a top 10 quarterback when he's healthy. Is Tua going to be healthy? I feel like the Jets and the Patriots both have improved. I think the Patriots make a bigger step than the Jets do, though. So yeah, I have Bills finishing first, Dolphins second, Patriots third, Jets in last place. Does anybody want to give their
Yeah,
prediction
I
for this division?
yeah, I will. I actually have this coming down to the wire, and I have New England stealing it, going from worst to first in that division.
Wow.
That's a
I
hot one.
I like what they did as far as completely changing their culture, upgraded head coach. We all know about Gerard Mayo and what that was, and the fact that Tennessee decided to still let Vrabel go and have him just sit around for a year, let him think his stuff over. Honestly, I think they're going to go in and they're gonna steal it in week 18. I do have both the Bills and the Patriots making the playoffs, but as far as the Dolphins go, their record's probably going to stay the same, right at 9-8. The Jets, I think it'll be 7-9. I think is that yes? Is my math correct on that 7-9?
Yes, your math's correct.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
So I have, and I see the Jets doing something, but not this year. It's going to take them a minute. New head coach, new everything. And as far as the foundation that Vrabel puts, the reason why I can say it like that is because when he was a head coach at Tennessee, the man did nothing but compete in the playoffs every year.
All right, so
Um,
I have I have the Bills finishing first. I have the Patriots finish second, and the closer we get to the season, the more and more I have the Patriots moving up and up and up. Because I think the additions that they made, and not only that, I feel like that defense is really good. It's underrated. I think that defense is very underrated. I have Miami coming in third, and also have the Jets in last, and that's just because the Jets. I don't see the Jets making any moves, and I see Miami staying stagnant with all the moves they made. I've also seen the Bills didn't make enough moves to put them over the top in that division, in my opinion. But the Bills are still the best team in that division.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bills definitely the number one team in that division. I don't see anybody catching up to them. And the Bills just you got Josh Allen, man. The Jets, they're going to continue to be the bottom feeders of that division, I believe. My opinion. Um, record wise, for the Bills, I agree with the 14-3 record with A Train. The Jets, man, I don't see them winning more than 8 games this year, and I think I'm kind of giving them some cushion. Um, let's see, the Patriots. I think the Patriots will get that third spot or the second spot with the oh man, 11-6 record, and Miami. I think they're going to be out there with like a 10-7, 9-8.
I'm gonna agree with most of you. I'm gonna take the Bills at number 1, 14-3. I'm gonna take the Dolphins second, about 10 wins, 7 losses. One, because Tua fully healthy, they're gonna win games regardless. When you look at their schedule, it's not too hard for Tua to get 10 wins out of that, as well as
All right.
the
You guys hear me?
Patriot. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
Um,
So LG's kind of lagging right now.
He was lagging. It wasn't lagging for me.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can hear
LG
him.
is?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
shoot.
good. He was good. He was good. It was just for you.
okay.
Oh, my bad.
The Patriots.
All right.
The
I
Patriots.
can't hear him.
I feel a comeback. I think their floor and their ceiling are really close to me. I think their floor is about 8-9, or they go over
So you
9.
guys is the NFC.
Um,
There he is.
and with that saying, the improvements they made in the draft are significant, and I think Drake May is going to prosper with what he got going on with them. The Jets, I don't believe in Justin Fields at all. Justin Fields was a glorified running back. What we thought Lamar Jackson was going to be coming out of college. Like, that's what Justin Fields is. And that offensive line doesn't convince me that they're going to get better. The coaching staff doesn't convince me that they're going to get better. Their organization doesn't convince me that they're going to get better. For the most part, I don't think they're going to get 5 wins. I think they're going to be, a matter of fact, I think they're going to be worse than with Aaron Rodgers. Justin Fields struggles under pressure. He struggles as a passer. He makes the wrong decisions, not great ball carrier vision. It's just not no hope there. All the other teams have either gotten better or stayed stagnant. The Jets consistently will get better, but don't do anything better. So that's why I don't trust them to do anything outside of being last in their division.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with all those points for sure.
I do too.
I do too. So moving on. Are we moving on to NFC or no? NFC East or no?
Oh, you can't wait to start talking about your Eagles, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you know that.
All right. So, quick rundown of last year. Obviously, the Eagles won the Super Bowl and they finished first in their division. They were 14-3. The Commanders, they finished 12-5. They finished in second. The Cowboys 7-10, third place, and then the Giants obviously finished in last place. They were 3-14. So I'm gonna do a quick rundown of what I think is gonna happen this year, and then we'll go in order again. I think the Eagles repeat as division winners. I have them going 13-4. I have them taking just a hair of a step back. I still think they win the division. I got the Commanders going at 10-7, right? So they were 12-5 last year. I think they take a step back. I think JD5 definitely gets, I wouldn't say exposed, but I think people are starting to catch on to what he's doing. I got the Cowboys actually tying with the Commanders at 10-7. So I have 2 teams at 10-7, and I think that those 2 teams might be pushing for that, whether it be wild card or just a playoff spot. And then I have the Giants taking not really a step forward. I have them going 4-13. So I'm not sold on the Giants yet.
Yeah, I agree with you on that part as far as the Giants go. Looking at that schedule, man, I wouldn't wish that schedule they got on my own worst enemy. That schedule is not great. They literally got the same treatment that the Steelers got last year.
That schedule is not family friendly.
No. They're lucky to have 1 win by the bye. So moving forward, third place, you're going to have the Commanders at 9-8. You're going to have, and then now I'm going to pick the division winner. There hasn't been a repeat in over 20 years. And that's still going to be the case for another year. I got Dallas winning the division. I think Philly's great. They're going to make the playoffs. I honestly have both Dallas and Philly and Washington all in the playoffs, but Dallas is your division winner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Child,
LG, I'm
this
going
is
last. You go.
Barring they stay
I'm
healthy.
gonna go last.
Barring they
of
stay
course,
healthy. If
of course you're
you
going.
got a healthy Dak Prescott, I believe him.
JB, you want to go or you want to let me go?
You can go.
Okay. I'm taking the Commanders first in this division. Everything about this division is wishy-washy for me. They haven't had a repeat winner in like 20 something years. Um, the Eagles, I don't think they're going to start off as the Eagles we saw last year. As well as the Cowboys, Dak Prescott coming off an injury historically is great. And I don't care. I believe in the Giants. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying all that. But I think the ceiling for them is 9 wins. No playoffs, 9 wins. You look at the offseason pickups they got. They got Jackson Dart, was Jameis, Russ. Who was the running back that they got? I forgot his name. Was it Scatterboo? I think it was Scatterboo. Got Scatterboo in the offseason. They have a good wide receiver with Neighbors, potentially a top 10 wide receiver. I'm gonna stand on that. And their defensive line is disgusting. You got and if you look at what teams have been doing in the offseason based off of what the Eagles did last year to win the Super Bowl, it's obvious defense wins championships, and they're stacking it. You got Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau. They're stacking up that team to win. And if they don't, get like 8, 7 wins this season, even with that gauntlet, because I have them upsetting a lot of teams on the lower tier, of course. I have them upsetting a lot of teams. If they don't upset them, I'm kind of disappointed. I would be disappointed in them. And if Jameis is the starter, I think they're guaranteed to win 7 or 8 games because him being a gunslinger, I know it bites them in the butt a lot, but they could legit do something with that. So I'm going to take the Giants at 4th, interchangeable to 3rd. I have the Cowboys in 3rd in the division, interchangeable to 4th because things change in that division. And their coaching staff was really a big reason, that too. And the 2nd, taking the Eagles, not because they're not the best team in the league on paper. It's just history tells me that they're not going to win again. And the Commanders, if you look at dual threats from one end of the spectrum to the other as rookies, they don't really get stopped the next year. There's no slump for them. CJ Stroud's more of an improviser. We could say he had a slump. I'm fine with that. But he's not a dual threat. Dual threats are still almost an anomaly in the league because you can't really stop them, especially the ones that have great ball carrier vision. I think they got greater in the offseason. They fixed their offensive line. Not fixed it. They tweaked their offensive line. They got a solid number 2, Cheesebo Samuel. And I think their defense got slightly better as well. I think they made minor changes where they did. And I think that's enough because they made the NFC Championship last year. It's going to be much harder, but hey, it is what it is. It's hard in the NFC East.
And I know Josh chomping at the bit to rebuttal this shit real quick.
I'll pass out that JV go first because I might
Yeah, he
talk
said
for
he
like
wants to
4
go last.
minutes.
No, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go. Dude, this is a tough division right here. I personally, dude, I think JD5 has a maybe not necessarily a sophomore slump, but he kind of has a step back, like Atron said. I think that the rest of the league kind of figures him out. They got some film to go off of. He did miss just a little bit of time, so my worry for his health is out there too. Um, I like them. I like them going 11-6, 10-7 as well. I just don't. I didn't see too much of an improvement on their defensive side of the ball. So, um, hold on. So what I think is with Dallas, you guys, I think Dallas, you guys hear me out, man. That Dallas training camp or mini camp, bro, has a different demeanor. Um, they're very quiet. You haven't heard Dallas in the news like you do every other year. Every year you hear all about Dallas, something about that, the
We
coach.
beat the
It's all
Giants.
it's all quiet over there, right?
Well, I mean, you got to look at it this way. It's quiet because two of the respective teams in the division were also in the NFC title game, and they
And they
were.
haven't been there in what, like, forever?
It's yeah. LG was in the negatives, like by a lot. So
I just had to catch straight there.
Yeah, you already knew that was going to happen.
Okay.
See,
But okay.
I agree there's something cooking down there. Their whole demeanor, what I'm saying is they're happy. Like if you go and watch, like I've watched a lot of NFL network and looking into the camps and stuff, and the way that they're going, man. I'm telling you, man, they're happy. Parsons is having a good time.
and I think that's also a big testament to Schottenheimer.
Yeah, it
As
is. I
far
think so
as
too.
I mean, not having had to deal with Brian, but
hmm
with especially you and me knowing Marty for all the years he was in Kansas City, the culture that he puts in, I think that apple didn't fall far from that tree to where he's going to have a much different culture than they've had in the past. You're still going to have the parody that is Jerry Jones, but I don't feel it's going to completely let it consume them like it has for years past. I think this is a different type of culture that they're working on in Dallas.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely a different culture. There's definitely something brewing out there. I got them actually going. Um, I have them tying like Atran does with if they don't no I got hold on. I have the Dallas Cowboys of a ceiling of 12-5 with a floor of 8-9. No. 10-7, 10-7. Floor 10-7, ceiling of 12-5. All right. They are my biggest question mark with that, with their success. I mean, I think that they're definitely going to be in the playoffs this year. Um, but going to the Giants, man, bottom feeders, right?
Yep.
I just don't see anything
Hey,
really
it's not nice.
transpiring out there. I mean, you know as well as I
I
do,
think
Joe.
I'm the only one that really has hope for the Giants.
So LG, you
Looking
gotta wait.
great.
LG, just let me talk first.
I'm
Well, hold on,
just
Before you
saying
say
that
that,
hold on. I
with
haven't
the
touched the Eagles yet. Hold on.
oh
I haven't finished this yet.
Oh yeah.
So with the Eagles, man, I do not see the Eagles repeating. The thing is it's a lot tougher than what people think, and just because they are stacked like that, they don't mean nothing. Injuries happen. I mean, shoot, dude, you see what happened with the Eagles after they lost in the Super Bowl against Kansas City the year after, and it wasn't so good. I think they're gonna have a Super Bowl hangover this year, and they're still gonna be competitive, but I just think they're just gonna fall short. I have them coming in second, if not third, in their division this year.
third.
Yes, sir.
everybody's done. So yeah, we got that out. Okay.
I
So
mean, we still have a comment in here too, if he wants to say
yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
Common
let's.
and
Oh,
Southgate.
hey, how y'all doing, Common Southgate? How y'all doing?
Let Ja go. Let Ja go, and
Hey,
then
Ja, you go. I'll
I'll
wait.
catch them up.
Yeah.
All right. So for one, LG, I do agree with you that the Giants will be better this year than a lot of people think. Just for the simple fact that one, that defense is stacked. Two, like you mentioned Cam Scatterable, but I like Tyrone Tracy a lot as a running back. Malik Neighbors, I don't think the receiving core is terrible. They actually have a decent receiving core. And I think Jackson Dart had the best. Like when you talk about like his mechanics and everything like that, I don't think anybody was compared to him outside of Cam Ward. Where like you look at him, you say, this guy has the potential of being a superstar. He has that talent. He just has the talent. Now here's one thing. He touched on it, but he didn't touch on it enough. He said the history of the NFC East. Had he touched on it enough, you'd have known that the history of NFC East has always been historically since the 2000s started. Cowboys and Eagles division. We have been going back and forth. Outlier. There'll be outlier seasons where the Commanders will have a good season or the Giants will have a good season. However, every time they had a good season, you could go check. They take a downfall. The Commanders' defense aren't good. It isn't good. Their secondary isn't good. They brought back Bobby. They still have Louisville, but they lost Jonathan Allen. You lose your best run defender, your best run stuffer on a defense that's already not good stopping the run. That's a red flag in my opinion. The addition of Marshall Lattimore has not panned out so far. And then you go get Debo. As of right now, we're seeing in Debo. Debo looks out of shape. Debo looks out of shape, and your starting receiver is holding out. Your starting receiver is holding out. Which to a young quarterback, it means a lot because that repetition and getting on the same page means a whole lot. So now you don't have your number one receiver in a year where you're supposed to expand things so that the teams won't key down on key down on your quarterback. Then your running game, your running game. I'm talking about first of running back isn't top tier. Jaden Daniels helps that run game out a lot, but the run game isn't really there. If you key down on Jaden Daniels, Brian Thomas can break off a couple. Brian Robinson can break over a couple tackles, get you some yards. But overall, he's not a bell cow bat, a bat that you want, a back that you'll want to constantly tote the rock and get you them yards when you need them. That's just not his game. Now, when you talk about the Cowboys, it's going to be I've had for the first time since the last time we did it, us repeating. However, I don't think it's going to be like how it was last time. I think we'll win 13 games, the Cowboys win 12. That's how I think. Cowboys win 12, we win 13. And it goes like that. And I think the Commanders take a step back. What did they win? 12 games last year, 11? I say they win
Yeah.
about 9 this year. They win about 9. And I see the Giants can win from anywhere from can honestly win 7 games this year. I don't think any more than 7, but I honestly think they can squeak out a 7 because I think they're gonna win a couple games that they're gonna probably end up being the Commanders. They may sneak one against the Commanders. They sneak one against us every now and then. They always sneak one against the Cowboys every now and then. I think that happens again. Not them beating every last one of them, but I think they're gonna sneak and win two division games that they shouldn't win. Two division games that they should have won, and that defense is going to give them an additional game or two. And I feel like the offense could give them a game or two. So that would be around 7 games. That's just personally what I think. However, I don't see us repeating, even though it's too early to tell who will be in the Super Bowl. But I don't see us repeating. I see us being an NFC Championship contender or Super Bowl contender, but not repeating this season just because like LG admitted, we are going to start off slow with the addition of a new offensive coordinator. We don't know how it's going to look. So as of right
Facts.
now, we know Nick Sirianni doesn't call plays. All we know is that that organization wants to win, and I think this year we might not, but I feel like in the next 5 years we'll probably win another one. Not right now.
All right, so we'll catch Common up and we'll catch Southgate up. Obviously, we're going over the NFC East. Last year, the Eagles finished 14-3. Commanders were 12-5. Cowboys were 7-10, and Giants were 3-14. Southgate, do you want to give us your prediction for the NFC and what you see happening?
Yeah, basically, I'll keep it short. Sorry for showing up late.
No, you're fine, man.
No problem, man.
I see the Eagles winning the division. I pretty much see the Eagles winning the division, 12-13 wins. I see the Giants getting 7 wins, and I see Dallas or Washington, one of those teams, getting 10 or 9 wins. I see the whole division just beating themselves up.
Yep.
Pretty
Sounds
much.
like the NFC North.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys and Washington both finished with 9 wins and you had one
I
playoff
mean,
team.
that is the history of
Yeah.
of the NFC East. Exactly what he just said.
I mean, that's pretty much what I see for that whole division.
So you got Eagles first, Cowboys, Commanders somewhere in the second, and Giants finishing last.
Yes, I think pretty much. I'm sure 5 educated people went ahead of me, so I really don't got to give my points. I'm sure you just gave every point I'm going to give.
All right.
Appreciate
Common,
it.
Common,
you got some
Common,
good
you want to
ones.
hit on the East here?
Hey, yeah, what's up, man?
So
Apologize
Common,
for the delay, bro. Life be life, and had a good put a couple, had to put some hours in.
so we get it.
We talking about the NFC East, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's always been a topsy-turvy division, you know what I mean? I think in the last 20-something years, they never had back-to-back division champions.
The last
So,
time there was a back-to-back, I'm sorry, but sorry to cut you off. The last time there was back-to-back was the year we went to the Super Bowl. Back then. With Donovan McNabb.
okay, so that's what, 2004?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because y'all won the Super Bowl 2004 against New England. Yeah, so, so, you know what I mean? It's been, what, that's 21 years since they've had back-to-back champions, you know what I mean? The AFC East has always been a dog fight when it comes to a division as far as division rivalries. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Eagles could be 1-10, and Giants could be 11-0, and the Eagles could beat them. Like, I mean, it's always been that type of division. You know what I mean? It's always been back and forth like that. So, I mean, my picks for this year, if I had to say, first and foremost, as of right now, the road to the division title of the NFC East goes through Philadelphia, regardless to whom or what, as of right now. As far as I gotta concur with JB. I gotta agree with JB when it's been real quiet over there. You know what I mean? You really haven't heard anything from that. Like, you haven't heard nothing from them. Like, no Dak this. Like, you know what I mean? I watch First Take and I mean, and try to give me a little bit of that NFL, Good Morning NFL Football, NFL. And there really hasn't been like a whole bunch of talk about Dallas at all. Like, it's been very quiet, which kind of surprises me because usually they're like the loudest ones in the whole season. So
Yes.
so they might have something brewing over there. You know what I mean? Maybe they're on some. We're gonna let our performance on the field do the talking from now on. You know what I mean? And they're gonna. They're going to be, you know what I mean? And they're working on them, you know what I mean? Instead of working on, getting clicks and likes and all that stupid ass, you know what I mean? All that stuff. So, I see the Cowboys. Well, if Dak is healthy, we know during the regular season the Cowboys are always a tough team to beat. All right, we know that for a fact during the regular season. If Dak is healthy and he's playing like he be playing, you know what I mean? They're going to be competition. You know what I mean? When you meet them on Sunday, it's not going to be no walk in the park. You're not just running through the Cowboys. It's not happening, right? So, with that being said, I think Dallas comes in. I think Dallas and Washington fight for the second spot. As of right now, I still got Philly. All right, I still got Philly. As of right now, they're still the most complete team in my eyes in the NFL as far as offense and defense. I don't know a ton about their special teams, but as far as offense and defense, they're still the most complete team. And when you go to Washington, now let's skip to Washington. JD had a great year. I think now that coordinators have film on him, they'll be able to counteract some of his. They'll be able to see some of his tendencies. You know what I mean? What blitzes cause him trouble? What alignments? You know what I mean? Gave him difficulty in reading. What kind of defensive packages? You know what I mean? He had difficult reading and stuff like that. So I'm not going to say he's going to have a slump. I just don't see him performing as well as he did this year with coordinators having film on it. But I still see them battling with the Cowboys for the 2 spot, for the number 2 spot in the division. And, you know, 2 or 3. I mean, it's going to be a game or so apiece. I mean, it's going to be. It'll come down to something like, you know, either division wins or, you know what I mean, NFC wins. Something. I mean, it's going to come down to something like that. I think between those two for 2 and 3. And as far as the Giants, well, y'all know my motto. I'm 6'4", 280. I don't move so easy. I'm not moving. You know what I mean?
Everyone's low on the Giants. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm not moved by
You were
this.
low on the Giants
It's just,
too.
I mean, here's the thing. It's a straight up hide your kids and hide your wife situation with the Giants. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's just so much. I have so much trust in what they could advance to this year. They're not gonna do anything, but I just feel like the Giants are gonna be that one team that everybody's gonna have to watching for upset alert. The upset alert is gonna be with the Giants.
The Giants are gonna be that team, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The Giants are gonna be that team that you meet late in December, and you need a win to get into the playoffs, and the Giants are gonna come to your house and beat you and
leave.
You know what I mean? And fuck up your New Year's.
And then walk right back out.
You feel me? Like that's where I see the Giants at. That's where I see. You know what I mean? I see the Giants as up and coming. You know what I mean? With Neighbors, and then they got the defensive lineman,
Abdul Carter.
Yes, thank you. I mean, they got Abdul in addition to Abdul Carter. And, you know, we saw what Neighbors can do, okay? We saw what Neighbors can do, and he had, I believe, 3 different quarterbacks last year thrown to him. So we saw what he can do with 3 different quarterbacks. So he does show hope and potential in the wide receiver position. Now, as far as Abdul Carter, yes, I saw what nobody did in college. But, y'all know how I am. That shit don't mean nothing until you do it in the NFL.
It don't move me.
It don't mean nothing.
The college career don't move me when it comes to the NFL and translate. Man, you got to get in that.
It just doesn't. It just does. If you don't do it in the NFL, listen.
Yup.
We saw Jadeveon Clowney. Hold on. We saw Jadeveon Clowney beast in college. Anybody heard from Jadeveon lately?
Hell no.
My biggest question is, and you guys heard me screaming about it all week, are they going to pay Scary Terry or what?
Yeah, that was what we already hit on earlier. Is he worth, what was it, 36 mil?
He's asking, they offered him $30 million a year and he turned it down. So
he's going to turn down. If that's a first deal, then yeah. Typically first deals get turned down because the player wants more of the higher option.
He wants CD Lamb money. He wants
He's deserved that.
He does not deserve CD Lamb money.
He does not deserve
No,
CD.
not at all.
He wants
CD Lamb money.
He was lucky. He was lucky to get 30. He should smash that bag.
I don't think
30
was reasonable. I think 30 was reasonable, actually. I don't think it was generous. I think it was reasonable. But for something over that, you're pushing it, buddy.
All right, so real quick, where do we put Scary Terry in our top 10?
Right at the 9 or the 10 spot for me.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Wow.
Everybody go one by one. Jaw, we'll go left to right. Jaw go. And then
Nah, same thing LG just said. To be honest.
Yeah, I got him like 8. I got him 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Firmly
Southgate?
at 10.
I got him interchangeable. Mike Evans at 10.
Okay. Common.
He's 1,100 yards a year.
Listen, I hate to sound like a broken record. You know what I mean? Because I like it when we all disagree, because so we can like go back. But I fucking can't.
All right, Chief Tinez.
I have him at number 10.
Dang, I'm gonna be the outlier here. I have him at 7.
I have him at 7 too, Tinez.
That's kind of high.
I mean, you can say it. I'm not putting BTJ. I'm not putting BTJ, and I'm not putting Brian Thomas up there.
No.
Or until I get another sample size.
I don't think.
Yeah, I
agree that I'm even including the rookies in this list, because if I am, I am taking BTJ over.
I'm gonna be real with you. If Malik and Neighbors does what he did again last season, this season.
Neighbors, I don't. If
Never
Neighbors
mind.
does that again, he's jumping in my top 5. I don't even care.
Whoa! I was saying he was
Yes,
top 3 for
because
me.
I have
That's kinda
Puka. I
high.
have Puka in my top 5.
That's crazy.
I have Puka in my
Puka in your
top 5.
top 5 is not. I mean, I don't have
That's
him in mind,
not-
but that's
that's
not
not-
bad.
Yes, but like if you look at what Neighbors did with the situation he had, he turned nothing into something. He was one of the
He
best
did give them hope.
receivers in the
I will
league.
say that he definitely gave them hope. But
He
you can
was
also-
one of the best receivers in the league with Tommy DeVito throwing him the ball. Like,
Yo, but
come on, man.
right.
Wait. He had Drew Lock. He
I
had
gotta
Drew Lock
say-
and Daniel Jones.
Oh yeah, don't forget about Drew Lock. Like,
No,
he's
but
like-
I gotta say one thing else.
Hey,
We don't put rookies in our top 10, dog.
that's right. I don't put him in my top 10. I'm saying next year, if he does what he's the same thing he did,
My one sample size year, and we always hit on that. We're not putting rookies top 10 in the
But
one sample size year.
But here's my thing.
Yeah,
though.
but I'm very high on BTJ. I'm not. He's not in my top 10, but I'm very high on BTJ.
But see, here's my thing with Terry.
I got you,
right?
baby.
And here's my thing with that. With LG saying, Terry McLaurin did the same shit. We're forgetting that Heineke, who was it? Sam Howell were all his QBs, and he was still performing at an actual decent level. I mean, did we forget that when Heineke was in the playoffs?
He never hit
We
over
didn't forget it. I think it's more of I think he should have performed better with Sam Howell. And the reason why I say that is Sam Howell is just throwing the ball to anybody.
Okay.
He was just throwing it. I think he had led the league or was second in yards that year behind all of that. And Scary Terry's performance, like when you look at the eye test, it was pretty good, but his numbers aren't speaking to me. Like,
I get what you mean. So it's more of like numbers.
Yeah. So like I think he's like what Southgate, or I don't remember who said it. He's interchangeable with Mike Evans in the top 10 for me.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
he's literally one of the receivers that's consistently getting 1,000 yards year in, year out, no matter the QB. And I think he has a worse QB situation than Mike Evans has had. So
Agree.
the fact that he's still doing it, that's why I don't have him too high, because I think at some point, I think he should have like a 1,400 or 1,500 yard season.
For sure.
And I kind of want to
Wasn't-
just keep on track with this. Tinez,
Mm-hmm.
since you came in late too, you want to
Yes,
give
sir.
us your prediction on Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants? What do you think the East is going to do in the NFC?
I'm so glad you asked me this. Because I've been talking about that division all season. My prediction, I obviously I'm gonna have the Eagles first. It's
Okay.
not really a question there. They're a very good overall team. They have a sounding, beautiful, absolutely remarkable defense. They have a beautiful offense, both passing and rushing. So, and they have a very disciplined QB. So right there off rip for me, I have to have them first. I honestly think they're probably going to make at least a good 11, 12 wins. At least. The floor for me is 11 for them. Now, second place, that one is honestly, it's hard. Why? Because I can also see Washington doing it. But if all goes good on Rise, I'm just saying, if all goes good on Rise and what everybody's saying, I can also see the Giants pulling it off. I do. I don't really have faith in the Cowboys because of few factors. One, Dak isn't Dak no more. I loved Dak a little bit when I was younger, seeing him before injury. I don't see the Cowboys getting no more than third at most place. I really don't. And it's not that I don't dislike the Cowboys or if I dislike Dak. It's just that I don't feel like you lose Zach Martin. You now have an injury-prone quarterback. You have rookies in your offensive line. That is going to have to create a lot of chemistry and a lot of discipline that you guys are now going to have to go back and reevaluate for at least 2-3 years, right? So with that, right, and I get it. A lot of people don't really like me saying that because it's the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys.
Yeah, we all hold that like slight hatred for the Cowboys.
No, and it's not even no. But here's the thing, though. I don't really dislike the Cowboys. It's just more of the fact of where they are at right now offensively. Now, if they had better pieces offensively, like how they did in the past, I could see them at least making third or second. But where they're at right now, I really don't see them making anything higher than third.
I think what separates the Cowboys from everybody is their running game. That's what they're built on, is their running
And
game.
we're not going to completely hate on the Cowboys because we do have 3 Cowboys members in not moved.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't hate the
Well, we
I don't.
love them. We love them. We may not love their team, but we love them.
Yeah.
So I want to cycle back. I know, like, we're kind of a little disorganized this week. It's our 4th week, but well, you know, like, we're working out the kinks. Common at Southgate. We're gonna go over the AFC East. We got the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Patriots. Last year, the Bills won the division at 13-4. Dolphins were 8-9. Jets were 5-12, and Patriots were 4-13. I want your guys' prediction on the AFC East since we're jumping back to the AFC, but I want your guys' input on that.
Common, you can go first. Go ahead.
Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots.
Common?
Yeah, no, I'm right here. Hey, yo, let's
All right, I'll go first.
Let's stop getting going.
All right. Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots.
Yep.
Are you telling me Tua is healthy? That's my biggest question. I mean, who's playing quarterback? The Jets. I've been watching the Jets my whole life. They just can't get it right. The Jets. I don't believe in New England. I don't believe in the Stephon Diggs signing. They still have no receivers. And they have a good defense. I think Drake May is good, but I don't think the offense is ready to move. I mean, I don't see what difference Stephon Diggs is going to make over there. I really don't. I mean,
I agree.
he was.
So you have Bills. You have Bills winning the division.
Yes, easy. Bills are going to go 6-0 in that division, 5-1.
I like it. I agree.
Wow.
I don't see anyone
Sweep the division.
What happened?
And then who you got second? Dolphins, Jets, or Patriots?
If Tua was healthy all year, I got the Dolphins. And then I have Patriots and Jets.
We really don't believe in the Jets, and I totally agree with this.
I just can't.
Jets stand for just end the suffering or just end the season.
I mean, it's just the same old green team. They just can't, it's like the movie Life. Can't get it right.
That's insane.
It just can't get it right. The Jets. I just don't know why. And I would love nothing more than to see the Jets win. I really would. But it's just, yeah.
It seems kind of pointless. I mean, hopeless for them.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know who has a voodoo spell, if it was Screwface or whoever put it on them, but
y'all got to get the doll out of New York, guys.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. If there's some voodoo curse on them or whatever, but it's crazy. The Jets just can't get it right. So, basically, you're just going to see Josh Allen do his thing. I would love to see him get a receiver. He's got a good run game. I like Jared Cook. I don't think he's the best in the league, but I think he's very
James
good running
Cook?
back. I'm sorry, James Cook. I apologize. I think very good running back. But even him, and what's he got over there? Shakir. Does anyone really believe in
Shakir, Keon Coleman? And,
does anyone believe Coleman's going to step up and be that guy?
Not really.
I think Coleman.
They just got Joshua Palmer as well.
I
So
think.
listen. I hope
Joshua
I like
Palmer to
Keon.
me is another $700-800 a year guy tops.
Yeah, I like Keon. I hope he could be
That's
the
what you're
number one
gonna
guy.
see.
Did he show he can be one? No, but I hope and I like him a lot, and I think he could be. I hope he's so. I hope so. Really.
That's probably the easiest division in football to pick.
To be honest, don't you know?
Well, see, here's kind of my thing.
I know everybody thinks New England's going to do great. I just don't see it.
I don't see them winning the division. That's for sure.
I don't see them winning
I
the
don't see it
division,
either, but
but
I see them
I
being
don't.
at least second or third.
Yeah, I don't see them winning the division. But however, more and more I look at that team, the better for some reason they get to me.
The more and more I look at the Jets.
But wait, before you guys go, do you see New England as a playoff team?
No.
No, I see them in the hunt.
I
I
do.
see them in the hunt. I see them in the hunt.
I see him. I gotta
So
go
I
with it. I see him winning the division.
Like I said,
I see
Rob,
them in the hunt. I don't see
13 wins, 8 wins, 7 wins, and 5 wins.
I have them going 9-8 is what I said earlier. Chief is the only one that thinks they're going to win the division. Let's hit it with Common. Let's see what Common thinks.
Common, you there?
I think Common's still doing something.
Hey, sorry, guys. Hey, anyway, listen. Nobody over there has done anything to move Buffalo out of their top spot. Nobody. Okay? Yes, New England has made some moves. Not enough. Miami, even if Tua does start, we all know he gets hurt putting his helmet on. So, no. Nobody. New England's a strong number 2, but the division belongs to Buffalo until I see somebody to show and prove me different. And right now, nobody has done anything to move me, to persuade me to even think, to even entertain the thought that New England, Miami, or the fucking Jets are going to fucking dethrone the Bills. So, I mean, listen, the Bills are damn near 6-0 already. They
Before the
damn near
season
start the season off 6-0.
That's messed up.
You know, no, they do. They damn near start the season all 6-0. So like
Everything else there is okay. Yeah, the rest it's the we win the division and now it's the rest of the league.
Exactly. Like they damn near start all 6-0. So
No, bro, just because the division is so bad, they're constantly, literally
that's
at the
why
bottom of the league of strength of schedule.
I realize going from worst to first is a bold take, but you got to look at it this way, though. Like, there hasn't been any parity in that division. The same thing back when Brady was running the joint. There was nothing outside of the Jets for 2 seasons when they had Sanchez and Rex Ryan.
Yep.
Like, I just look at it that way of
Wait, wasn't the,
it's about
no, this-
time.
Wait,
It's
I have a question. This is for everybody. Did the Dolphins win the division that year? I'm sorry for cutting you off. Did the Dolphins win the division the year Tom
I'm trying
Brady
to think
got
the
hurt?
last time the Dolphins won the division, and I think it was like 2000.
Yeah, I was
What
about to
year?
say it was like early.
What year did Tom Brady tear his ACL? Because I know they didn't win that division.
That was
year.
2008.
That was 2008. I was no 0-7. It's 2008 game, right?
That was the Jets who won the division that year.
Yeah, the Jets.
Because that was 2009 playoffs.
Yeah, and the Jets went on like a 2-year span of being decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went to the
Oh
AFC
yeah, they
Championship
lost
2
an
years in a row.
AFC Championship 2 years in a row.
I mean, I can see what you guys are saying, but I honestly can, and I know this may sound crazy for some of y'all, but I actually see the Jets kind of in a rise. I see the Dolphins going down. Let's look at it like this. You lose Jalen Ramsey. That's one problem for me. You have Tyreek Hill with a bunch of issues off the field. That's another problem to me. Right? So that changes your entire team, especially in that front office, completely 180 from having a potential Pro Bowling quarterback, a multi All-Pro receiver, and a multi All-Pro corner. That's gone. Like, don't get me wrong, Tyreek Hill may be still Tyreek Hill to some people, but we don't know what that's going to be until you see the field. That's my problem there.
And hitting on that, I just want to hit on that real quick. All right.
I got to rebut you there because Minka Fitzpatrick at this point in his career right now is better than Jalen Ramsey. Okay?
Right.
Well,
I
on
get
that
you.
subject, hold on, time out, guys. So on that subject, I want to know, let's go panel by panel. Who do you think won that trade?
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won it.
Mhm.
So
The Dolphins
I'll
won.
start. we'll get
Pittsburgh
one
'cause of
person to
Jonnu.
start. Tinez,
No,
you started off, and we'll
Hey,
go up.
yeah,
Tinez, who do you
yep.
think won that trade?
I appreciate you. Honestly, I see the Steelers winning that. Honestly, not because of Jalen Ramsey, but because of Jonnu. Jonnu has really grown, honestly, especially for the Dolphins. In my eyes, I think he's going to be one of the best tight ends coming in the next year. I really do. He has great hands. He has a great yak. He is very. We can see that he's committed to actually make a roll. When the ball is in his hands, he is committed to make a roll, and nobody can discredit that otherwise. Now,
I
yes,
mean,
So
when it
we'll
comes
just
to
all
that
hit
whole
quick on
trade,
this. We'll all hit quick on this, Chief. Who won the trade?
okay.
I think Pittsburgh won the trade, but not just because of Johnny. It's more or less because when healthy, Tua is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. So, no, so it doesn't surprise me to see that. But as far as Jalen Ramsey goes, he's at the age where you can honestly move him at corner in key situations and keep him honestly primarily at safety. And I think that right there is going to help that defense already that stacked that it is. So it's just one more veteran presence. And that's why I feel Pittsburgh won it.
And then I'll go next. I want Common to go last on this, honestly. I think that the Steelers got fleeced. I do. I think the Steelers got fleeced. I think that Minka, he's still a top DB. I think Jalen's on the downslide. Jonnu, yeah, he's good, but production-wise, over the last 4 years, he's done the same shit as Freiermuth. Nothing that Jonnu's done outside of one season moves me. So Southgate, what do you think? Who won? Who won the trade?
Miami. I think. I think. I. I. I think Fitzpatrick is better, and the whole Janu thing. I don't know what everybody sees. LG. When did Aaron Rodgers ever really use his tight ends? I mean, has he ever
Michael
had?
He
Pentley.
used them in barely really important situations, but for the
It's
most part, they
goal
were
line.
just blocking.
12% of the time.
Yeah. The only
Yeah.
key one that I saw him use was Jermichael Finley.
Yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, they were just blocking.
Yeah, he's never made his tight ends great. He's never used his tight ends. So what makes you think Jono's going to go there and ball out?
All right, LG, who won the trade?
Oh, Dolphins. It's not even a question for me. They got the better safety. They needed safety. They got rid of Jalen Ramsey. Okay, that's a loss, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, I see them getting less benefit from getting the players they got than the Dolphins getting the players they got. I feel like the Dolphins made a better advancement in the progress of making themselves a better team than the Steelers. I don't trust Jalen Ramsey at the safety spot. I don't trust him in the nickel spot. He's been on a down tear since the Rams. So, and we all know he's not that fast. So I don't think he's going to keep up. I think he's going to hinder the defense more than he's going to help it. And Jonnu Smith, he doesn't, like you said, he's doing the same thing as Pat Freiermuth. He's not moving me back there.
All right, Ja, who won the trade?
So personally, I think it was a bad trade for both teams. But since I have to pick a winner, the Dolphins obviously won the trade. You get Minka Fitzpatrick, who is one of the top. Believe it or not, he's a top safety, and the things that he does sometimes don't show up on the stat sheet. Jalen Ramsey, if you put him at corner this season, he's shown that he can't guard any receiver who's actually like 28 or younger. He just can't do it because he's too slow, and a lot of these guys are too twitchy for him, and they could get their hands on. He could easily get their hands off him. That's one. Another thing is you give up your best defensive player in the secondary for what exactly? When you could have added Jalen with Minka, which would have made more sense. Also, the Jonnu Smith trade pickup doesn't make sense when you have 4 other tight ends on the roster. Yes, you use one as a fullback, but then that's 3. And now what that doesn't make sense. The Parham picking up Parham doesn't make sense neither, even though he's hurt. Picking him up wouldn't make sense. Nothing like all your additions that you made You just subtracted it with this one pick, with this one trade. It didn't make sense. And then the Dolphins, you trade Johnu to them, then go get a guy. What I said, I think I said his name wrong, but you go get a guy who hasn't played in 2 years. It just all around just didn't make sense.
All right, JB, I don't know if you want to hit on this. If not, I was saving last for
Yeah.
Common because he's the Steeler fan, and try to keep it PG. Common, JB, you want to hit on it real quick or no?
Yeah, I do.
right.
I'm not moved by the trade. To be honest with you, I kind of agree with Jaw. I think it was a lose-lose situation, especially for the fact that what Miami gave up for a safety who has been experiencing injuries, has missed time. Now, I like Minka. I've always liked Minka. Um, I just don't see. I guess this is what I'm trying to get at is I don't see a um on either side for the defense with Jalen and Mika. I don't see a boost. I don't see an improvement. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't. I'd say that they stay the same at those positions because Jalen is going to play safety. I read that today. He's out there. He's going to be practicing at safety. He's going to suit up at safety this year. That being said, LG's point, his athleticism has retracted some, but the thing in that case is the athleticism that he does have, he's going to be able to use because everything's going to be happening in front of him instead of him having to maintain next to a wide receiver at his age. Just like Rod Woodson and Charles Woodson switching over like that, I believe is going to make a good switch as well. The Jonnu Smith thing, we touched this subject yesterday. The dude has had one good year. The rest of it has just been mediocre. I'm not moved by it, and Pittsburgh's sitting at 5 tight ends now. What are they going to do with 5 tight ends? What are they going to do? Are they going to cut Fairman? No. Are they going to get rid of? They're not going to get rid of Jonnu Smith. They just got him. So what are they going to do? I'm kind of intrigued to hear what Common's got to say because I'm not moved by it.
We're gonna
Before
Common try
Common
not to
go,
crash out too much and try to keep it PG. Common because we are on all platforms. We'll let Common I have the last word on this, and then I want to move on to something else. So, Common, go ahead and give us your 2
Can I
cents on this
make
trade.
one? Can I
hold
make
on,
one
before y'all
rebuttal
say,
after he's
before
done?
Common goes, JB, they want to move Darnell Washington to tackle. They want him to beef up and move the tackle. That's what they
They're gonna
want.
beef up the tackle. All right, Tinez, what do you
They,
got, real quick, before Common goes?
My only thing with your guys' opinion and Jonnu is that, okay, yes, I get it. For the past couple of years, he's played mediocre, but these past 3 years, he's really improved. Let me put it to you like this. Last year was his best year with all touchdowns. His highest has been 8. Not to mention he's had almost 1,000 yards last year. That's without Tua. Let's also keep that in mind. Before then, he had 500. The year before, he had about less than 250.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't move me.
yeah, I ain't
I
gonna
get
lie.
it doesn't move people for some. I get it doesn't move for some, but for me, it kind of does
How
when
long
you're
has he
only
also been in the
dealing with
NFL?
a check down tight end.
How long has he been in the NFL?
like 6-7
I think
years.
since
And
2017.
check his stats, what he's done since then up until this year, and this is his most production that he's done.
Because the past 3 years, he's jumped around to different teams. He was on the Pats. The year
Same
before was the
offense.
Falcons, and then now he's on the Dolphins.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
maybe
get.
same
However, he's had
offense for the
hold
past
on,
couple
hold
of
on.
years,
However,
but
I want to give Common in the floor on this one because
And I
this is
yeah,
his
you
okay,
right,
segment.
you
okay.
right,
We'll
you
talk
right.
about this later. We'll talk about
Yeah,
that later.
this we got to give Common his this is his segment because his team made this major trade,
Fair
and
enough. That's my bad.
you know what I mean. So Common, go ahead.
Common sent me that video of welcoming Jalen Ramsey to the Steelers, and they made it like he was part of the steel curtain, this hard hitting safety. He's going to be safe, the hard hitting cornerback or whatever. I don't know when he became Ed Reed or whoever they think he is. And my advice is they're just getting a big name because I think they're going to trade Watt. That's
All right. So
Ooh.
Common, the floor is yours.
No, all right. First to Tinez's thing about Jonnu. Tinez, you said it yourself. How many teams has he been on?
I think he's been on like.
Tinez, how many teams has he been on?
I think.
Hold on, you said you summoned me. I heard my name being summoned.
No, I said how many teams? I'm rebutting. I'm responding to your take on Jonnu.
Okay.
How many teams has he been on?
He's been on the Pats, the Falcons the year before last year, so 2023, and then 2024 the Dolphins. So from 2017 to 2022, he's been on the Pats.
Okay, so
no, I'm sorry. Hold on. Tennessee. He was on Tennessee before he.
That's right. He was on Tennessee his first year.
He's been on 4
teams.
teams. This would be his fifth.
My bad.
Give Common the floor.
He's been on 4 teams in 7 years, right?
Correct. And the past 3 years, he's been improving each year by 300 yards.
Okay. All right, I'll give you that. But I'm gonna say again, he's been on 4 fucking teams.
PG Common. PG Common.
PG.
He's been on 4 teams in 6 years. Dog. What about him moves anybody? Listen, no player who bounces around on 4 teams in 6 years will ever move me. 4 teams in 6 years? Dog, that means no offensive coordinator fought for you at the board meeting, dog. Nobody pushed for you at the board meeting. Nobody said, no, I want that guy. Nobody. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, the fact that TJ is holding out. You traded away your number 1 defensive back and probably the number 2 defensive player on the team for an overrated has-been corner that now has a transfer to safety. Right? Okay. Now, how much sense does
That's
that
why I
make?
didn't give the credit to Jalen.
How much sense does that make? Absolutely none.
So
Now,
what
you
you're
want-
saying
now-
is the Dolphins won the
Now,
trade?
You want to ask me? No. You want to ask me who won the trade? Nobody. I'm going
Nope.
to tell you why. No, I'm going to tell you why. People might not remember this, but Minka asked to be traded out of Miami. He did not want
Yeah.
to be there the first time.
Right.
So why would you trade him back there?
Yep.
And listen, this is just human nature. When you truly don't want to be somewhere or you truly don't want to do something,
You're not going to do it.
you don't give it 100% because you truly don't want to be there. You go through the motions. So you're not going to see Minky closing gaps, knocking down passes like he was in Pittsburgh. He was happy in Pittsburgh. He wasn't happy in Miami the first time. What makes this time so different?
He wanted a contender, and the problem is right now, unless if Tua can stay healthy, they're at best a 7-win team.
The Dolphins are in the same situation.
Look, here's the
that the
thing.
Steelers.
Look, and listen, here's the thing. Him wanting to go to a contender, okay, at the time, we were still in purgatory, right? When we got Minka, we was in purgatory, right? We're still in purgatory at this time. However, with this trade, we have just moved officially to poverty. We are now panhandling in front of Wawa and in front of gas stations with cardboard signs saying we'll play for food.
No, man.
That is so messed up.
Now that's crazy.
That's
Right.
outlandish,
All right, I just
man.
want to hit on one more thing. Happy
Hold on.
Bobby Bonilla Day, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Happy
yeah.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Y'all, listen, check this out. See, here's the thing. These new day casual fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers, all right, most of them mess with the Steelers because their jerseys look good with the black and yellow Jordans. Right? They don't really know the history of the Steelers. They don't know the culture of the Steelers. Okay? Having winning seasons, going to the playoffs means nothing if you're not actually competing for the championship. Yes, we've made it to the playoffs. Ain't won a playoff game. Yes, we've had above 500 or above seasons. Ain't went past the wild card week. So making it there, making it to that point, and you're happy about it, you have a loser's mentality. I'm going to say this again. If you are happy about winning seasons and just making it to the playoffs and knowing that your team is not a team that, you know how they say any given Sunday, check this out. When Pittsburgh comes to the playoffs, it's not an any given Sunday. No, the fuck it is not. No, the fuck it is not. I'm part, well, my bad. We're live. Yo, no, it is not. No, it is not. Any given Sunday is when teams are equally matched. That's when it's any given Sunday. When it comes to the top tier, the AFC teams, and when it comes to the top tier AFC teams, they outmatch us in every way, shape, or form, dog. Maybe not by position, but as a team in full, they outmatch us ungodly. We're not competing for championships. Who the hell is happy about a winning season? Nobody won this trade. Nobody did.
All right, so
both organizations got egg on their face. Only difference is we got egg on our face with a cardboard sign that says we will play for food.
all right, so I'm glad I told Common to keep it PG because he really, really wanted to crash out there, but we're keeping it PG, you know. So I appreciate Common not totally crashing out, and you know,
Yes, thank you.
dropping
I'm not
F-bombs
gonna
like
lie to
commas.
you,
But
Coach C, it looked like you just wanted to have like a pitchfork and a bat just ready. For
yeah,
it, man.
so
Like that was
Common. I'm gonna get off this subject because after this trade, you might have to get on some blood pressure medication and you might freak out.
Podcast
Hit
is
that doctor up.
offering
Hey,
you free therapy
listen,
sessions.
I can honestly say, dog, and this is no exaggeration, because I said it when I was doing it. When I first heard about the trade, I said, okay, remember you guys asked me, Carl, what do you think about the trade? Remember I said it might take some weight off of Minka. Ja, being the buddy old pal, he says, like, no, Common, they traded Minka. I said, Minka who? He said, Fitzpatrick. Dog, after I got that information of the full trade, dog, I smoked at least 4 Newport 100s, dog. In a matter of 20
Hey, we're not
Common.
sponsored by them, so we can't shout them out yet. All right.
Yo,
So
Common, don't blame me. Blame Adam and blame.
Yeah.
You know what?
'Cause that's
You know
how you
what
put it.
though? If I was a
Hey,
Baltimore
one-
Raven,
Well,
if I
in all
won
fairness-
like that, I would have done that.
Guys,
But in all
one
fairness,
mic.
the way it came out, though,
Sorry.
there were many layers to how that trade was going, because originally it was just Jalen Ramsey, the Steelers, and then the second post it was, oh yeah, it's a swap for Fitzpatrick and Ramsey. I'm like, oh, well, no wonder everyone was pissed.
Exactly, Chief. I woke up to Ramsey traded to the Steelers. That was it. That was all. That was all. When you guys asked me, Carmen, how you feel about the trade, I said, well, maybe he might be able to help Minka out and take a little weight off of Minka, blah, 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 blah. Ja, old buddy, old chum, old pal,
Killjoy.
drop on me. Carmen, they traded Minka. I said, Minka who?
Yo, he pulled a Monterey Chi hot.
All right, we're gonna
Josh
have to
said,
get-
"Wake up to reality."
we're gonna
Wait,
have to get off this
yeah.
subject because
All right, we getting off of it, but Common.
All right, so on
blame
that topic,
Schefter,
right?
not me.
All right. So on that topic, right, we had breaking news today that Darren Waller went to the Dolphins to be their new tight end. So I want everyone's opinion. We'll go box by box. What do you guys think about Darren Waller coming out of retirement from his rap career and being a tight end for the Dolphins? Let's start at the top. JB, you got any insight on that? What do you think of Darren Waller? Are you moved by this move? All right, Ja.
So I might not be as big as Colin, right? But it was going to take a lot more than that to move me. For one, for
So you're
two,
not sold. Yeah, you're not sold.
not at all. And nothing makes sense. Why would you trade? So you turn around, you turn around and trade Jonnu, and then you say, "Wait, we need a tight end." And out of all tight ends, you go get the one who has been not playing football for 2 years, who is not in football shape, who has been rapping, who stopped loving the game of football, and you say, "Yeah, let's go give him a shot." I don't know if this is supposed to be like an all-star team of like has-beens or what, because like you got Tua, I mean you got Tyreek, you got Waller now, you got Minka. Is this a team for you got Eric? Who else is on that defense? Wilkins, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of guys who were good 5 years ago. Like I don't know.
Yeah, let's just like make a quick input. JB, what do you think about Darren Waller as a Dolphin? All right,
It's
LG.
still ain't there. Go LG.
I'm sorry, bro. People that come out of retirement, cool. Like it doesn't. Like, when was the last significant person came out of retirement and did something significant for a team? So
Gronk.
If you can tell me that.
I think it was Gronk, was it not?
It
Gronk
was, but to be fair, he had Tom Brady.
Yeah, he did have Brady, but I don't think he was as significant. Like, I mean, as in like what he was before. And if
honestly, the last one would probably
he's gonna be like
Flacco.
Jonnu. He's gonna be like Jonnu.
All right, let's leave this quick because it's Darren Waller. Southgate, you moved?
To be honest with you, I had to ask. I was driving. I had to ask my nephew because I thought he didn't play in like 5 years.
Right.
I don't even remember him being in the NFL 2 years ago.
All right. Common, you moved by Darren Waller?
Hey, Trey, you know I'm 6'4", 280. I don't move so easy.
Yeah, I thought that was either. Yeah, I don't think I'm at this point. I'm hoping Darren Waller makes the team, but we'll see. Chief, Darren Waller to the Dolphins. You moved?
No, I really did like his music though. I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah, that's definitely sarcastic. Tinez?
Yeah. I'm at a slight move, but that's only because I feel like it just gives them hope. It's kind of like Joe Flacco. You know, like when Joe Flacco got retired and then came to Cleveland and just won one game in playoffs. Well, a couple games of regular season, but one playoff game. It's kind of like that, you know.
All right, yeah, that was the breaking news out of the NFL today. Waller.
I'm not really moved by it. I mean, I like it. I've always liked Darren Waller, but I don't know. I don't see it making too big of an impact. And he's been out of football for a year?
2 years.
2 years.
But the hard part is before he got
I'm
traded to the Raiders, or before he got traded to the Giants, though, he was on a very depleted team in the Raiders where he showed signs of promise, but Derek Carr couldn't get out of his own way. You had the Henry Ruggs situation, and they just kept losing dudes left and right.
Well, the thing is when he was in there, dude, when he was in Oakland or Vegas, he was actually good. He was one of the top tight ends in the league.
I actually have breaking news.
One second. So his whole thing, I read something today on it where he literally going to the Giants, playing not even a full season. I think he said it was like 6 games or 7 games. And he said right there, he knew that he was done with football and he lost, but just because of what was going on in New York. I was very surprised. I read that yesterday, so I'm very surprised that he's back in the NFL. Like I said, that dude's a big dude. I can't move him. I'm not moved by it, but I hope the best one because I did like Darren Waller.
Not to the
They put that man at fullback.
Wait,
they put that man at fullback. I'm sorry, Southgate.
That just has
What's
to
up?
do with football, but Jaren Jackson Jr. just signed a $240 million extension, and he got turf toe that needs surgery playing pickup basketball in the park.
Oh no.
Yep.
Little street ball.
Yep.
See,
Well,
that's
he
why.
got
So that
paid. He
requires
still got
surgery.
paid
Patty,
though, right?
Yeah,
see,
his money's
Patty.
guaranteed. All NBA money's guaranteed, isn't it?
Yep.
No, sometimes it depends on the verbiage in the contract, but
But they just gave him a $240 million extension.
Yep.
Well,
That
thank God
he's
the off season just started.
Yep, exactly.
Well, we all know turf toe can last forever.
Well, and
See,
that
that's the
dude,
thing. It can, because that's the thing is why
Yeah.
when Patrick Mahomes came in and they signed him to that 10-year deal, he used to his first year, the first 2 years, he was out hooping with everybody, right? He'd go to the wide hoop, he'd hoop with the teammates, and the Chiefs came out and was like, "No, you ain't doing that no more. You can't not play
Well,
basketball."
they saw him doing one hell of a crossover. Someone decided to put it right on YouTube, and they were like, "No, whatever you did,
Yeah,
no, don't
yeah, I
do
remember
that."
that. He crossed that dude, boy.
Yeah,
all right.
it was
So
at the YMCA.
I want to I like so when we decided to do it tonight, we were gonna do our way too early Super Bowl picks. We're gonna go box by box. Everyone's gonna give their way too early Super Bowl pick. I guess I'll start it off. I'm gonna go Ravens.
All right, bag.
Ravens Chiefs.
In the Super Bowl,
Yep.
I got
Ravens Chiefs in the
Well,
Super
no.
Bowl.
So Ravens and Chiefs in the AFC Championship. In the NFC, I'm gonna go Rams, Eagles.
I got in my Super Bowl, I got Rams, Bills, and I got the Rams winning it all.
Yeah, you've had the Rams winning it. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going Eagles, Ravens.
I'm gonna go Chiefs and Rams with Rams winning.
I'm going. I'm gonna go Rams. I'm gonna go the same thing, dude. I'm gonna go Rams Chiefs, but I'm gonna go
Rams,
Chiefs winning.
Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Chiefs are gonna win.
As much as I wanted to, but because honestly, the way I see it, the Rams should have been in the Super Bowl last year. But
I would say
that's just because you would have win. So anyway, I'm
No.
gonna say,
All right, one at a time.
my bad.
Tina,
No.
you want to
You can
go?
go, Josh.
Tina,
You can
you
go,
want to
Josh.
go?
No, you
Alright,
can go.
so my thing is with way too early Super Bowl predictions. I typically wait until like at least preseason. So
Right.
this is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say Chiefs Eagles until I see a game of football played. As of right now, I see a repeat of the Super
That's
Bowl
fair.
because
That's fair.
With me, I think it's going to be AFC Championship, Ravens and Chiefs, of course. I think it's going to be one of those again.
Yeah.
Right now I'm at a 50 split between that one because here's the thing. Yeah, Patty Mahomes had a down year, but we also have a lot for the Ravens. And like a lot of people have been telling me, and that's kind of how I feel at this point, there's no excuses for the Ravens anymore.
Mhm.
Like we've done
Not at
so
all.
much to go so little to where at this point it's like I want to at least see Lamar win an AFC championship. If I can see that and him go
Yeah.
to the Super Bowl, I'm happy. I don't care if they win or lose in the Super Bowl. If they can make it there, I'm happy. Because the thing is like a lot of people say he can't do it. But we don't know if he can. That's kind of the problem there.
I'm
So
one
I
of
can
those
see
people.
where a lot of people are like, eh. It's like how Samuel Jackson said it. You showed us you can play the game, so then tie it up. You know what I'm saying? Now with NFC though,
Yep.
that one's it's hard with the NFC because it's like I do see the Eagles doing it again, but I also can see the Rams also making it up there. But then the thing is also, what about the Lions? Like, yeah, okay, they've had a lot of crazy injuries, but they still have very good key role players And even with those key roles, they were able to make at least the first, second round. And we don't know how that dual running back is going to improve on because they've only been together for like what, 2 years? This is probably their third year together. So right now with me is, have we seen their full potential? Have we not? Will we see more of Jameer? Will we see more of David? I don't know. So that's kind of my whole thing with that.
I guess it's on me. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
make this real quick and easy. My Super Bowl pick is Chicago and the Jets, and it's going to end in a tie. And they both want to share the plane ticket to Disney World.
You're
Yo, the Jets are the
Shout out to that guy Drew.
Yo, so
Oh!
I'm just let
Drew
you know
and,
right now. I
and
started
Jamal.
laughing the minute he said Chicago.
It's
I
a
started
bold
laughing.
strategy, Cotton.
Let's see if it pays off.
Nah, you guys all know. I mean,
Hey,
it's hard for me to make a Super Bowl pick when I don't even make assessments of a team until the third or fourth week.
Fair
So
enough.
I'm rolling. But to be honest with you, right now, I mean, like I would have to agree with Ja because I haven't seen any football played. I got to go with the two teams of last year.
I got a question. I got a question for Southgate. What are the odds on those two teams getting it? What could you
Yeah,
win?
let
With the
Southgate.
Jets and the Jets,
Yeah, the Jets and the Bears. Yeah,
We can win a lot of money.
you got to give me a minute to research that. Hold on.
you're good. So who else we got? Draw. You did your Southgate. Yeah, Southgate playing one. Southgate. You who's your or you did your early. We already covered all
I
that.
think everybody
We
said their
are.
piece.
Yeah, so everybody, I want to get this out there. We are on all platforms. We got YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Spotify, Amazon Music, uh, iHeartRadio. I'm missing one.
Apple.
Oh, Apple Podcast, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over. Kick. Follow, subscribe, y'all.
Yeah, personally, I think the AFC wins this year. That's why I was like, yeah, Ravens, Chiefs, because I see them being back where they were before, and I see the AFC running this shit until further notice. I don't know. I know the Eagles just won the championship, but I think it's going to come down to the Chiefs and the Ravens. That's my Super Bowl pick. I think it's going to probably be the Ravens. I think Lamar gets over that hump. He's not going to be the Dan Marino of our generation, and I think he actually wins it this year. That's going to be my way too early pick.
If the New York Jets played the Chicago Bears in the Super Bowl, $100 would win you $150,000.
$150,000.
Hey, yo, that's crazy. That's some shit. That's some bang.
Shout out to
You don't
that
even
guy
got to
Drew.
pick the winner.
Hey, I was in a live today, dude. I was in a live, or I was hosting live, and I had Sinners on, and he just kept telling us to book it, book it, book it. It was hilarious. So, hey, Drew, go book that. Go book that. Put $100 on it.
No. Sinners keeps going. We got Detroit's coaches. We're going all the way.
Yeah, he tried to say today in the live that DJ Moore is better than dude, what's his name? Dude from DK. He's better than DK. And he said that DK has never went over the middle in his career, and that DJ Moore does, and that's why DJ is better because DJ can play the slot.
Actually, let me ask the panel a question. What do you guys think about Devontae Adams this year?
That's
Two
big
very good
question mark.
takes. Let's go one at a time.
I think that
Because those are two very good picks.
I think that with him being at the Rams, I think he's going to flourish, not having to have all the. I think he's going to end up being. He's going to be the number 2 because of his age, and his decrease, and I think he's going to flourish in that role and that system. I think he'll do pretty good.
I agree with you because the thing is with Puka, he's actually learning a lot from Devontae. If you really look at how they're actually training together, he's already learning a lot of his releases, a lot of his skills as far as coming out of the break are coming from Devontae right now. So I do see Puka really making a huge impact this year. Now with how Devontae's going, I think he'll do slightly better than how he did in Oakland, but we're probably going to see the same Devontae as how we saw in Oakland. Because
Well,
the
in
thing
Oakland, he
is
did very well. He did very well in Oakland. He didn't do very good in the Jets. And he didn't play in Oakland. He
true.
played in Vegas.
The
That's
body of
true.
work with the Jets wasn't long enough.
He was no
Right.
That is
scrub
also
though.
true.
It was.
So then here's my thing, right? When you have a guy that is very consistent in his, I would say, coordination and patterns, what do you necessarily get at that when you're looking for growth? Is it more of just a good, or
I don't
do
mean
you
to
see trouble in
interrupt.
the bad?
I don't mean to interrupt, but if the Jaguars played the Saints in the Super Bowl, $100 would win you $500,000.
Yeah, no one's
Wow.
gonna fucking pick that.
It wasn't
I
too
might do that.
far off from
But
the
no,
Jets.
but seriously though, I
Where's
want each of the
Mr.
panel to
White?
really answer that question because I've seen patterns and I've seen good and bad habits, but with Devontae, it's kind of like a middle for me. I don't know if I'm the only one thinking that. It's just me.
I don't think that Devontae's fallen off. I know Father Time is undefeated, but I feel like Devontae could be a top 15 wide receiver.
But do you see where I'm getting at, A-Train? Like, there's no rise or fall.
Here's the thing, though. He wasn't taken care of in Oakland, so you could tell he was honestly not putting out his full potential after Derek Carr left. Then he goes to the Jets to try and help, albeit, that just kind of fell apart. We all knew what that was. Honestly, had he come earlier in the season, I think it would have been a little better, but regardless, now that he's with a team that is a proven winner, they're only 4 years removed from winning the Super Bowl. Okay, you have a decent wide receiver room, albeit you have an aging quarterback, but he's consistent. So I think because who's their number 3? Is it still Tutu Atwell?
Yes, correct.
So between Puka, Tutu, and Devontae, the writing's on the wall. Them dudes are going to eat.
Yeah.
My whole thing actually with a question about the Rams, because there is actually 2 players that not many people do talk about, and I actually want to kind of talk about here since we're talking about the Rams. Tyler Higbee and Kyron. Because I'm pretty sure, wasn't it last year or the year before was he injured, Tyler?
I think it was last year Tyler was hurt. But also the main thing they need to worry about is can Kyron hold on to the ball?
Yes, ball security is a big factor for him.
Common,
But I
you
feel like
got
with Tyler, it's also stepping up.
what's your Common and Southgate A-Train's thoughts on this?
I
That's about to
have
say, I want to hear
Devontae as a
Southgate.
top. I have Devontae as a top 15 wide receiver. I think he will finish top 15. That I'm gonna just go quick on that. We'll go quick to Coach and we'll go quick to Southgate, and then I think we should end this.
Yep.
I think if Devontae has 80% of what he used to have, the Rams are going to be a real serious problem. A real serious problem. What was the other question?
Oh, about Tyler Higbee. How you feel like his impact is going to be next year, even though he got injured last year?
He's going to be Tyler Higbee.
Yes, sir. Correct.
That's it. He's just going to be Tyler. He's not going to be no better, no worse.
Okay.
OG, you want to touch that subject? How do you think Devontae Adams is going to do in Los Angeles?
I'm sorry, Devontae Adams. I think he's going to be one of the best wide receiver 2s in the league. I mean, he's
actually,
really
yeah.
wide receiver.
Back. Do you think he's still the same Devontae Adams or what?
Of course not. No.
Do you think he's 80% of what he used to be?
I give him 70.
Okay.
I give him 70.
Okay.
And 70% of Devontae Adams is better than most wide receiver 2s. So the fact that he's going to be at that level, and Puka's going to be at this level, especially if they're fully healthy. Adams is gonna do numbers. I think he might get 1,100, 1,200 yards, even with Puka on that team.
May I
If
add
they're
a
fully
question
healthy
on
the
top
whole
of that
season.
statement?
Mhm.
Do you see him better than Devontae, who right now is probably projected being the best wide receiver too?
Yeah, Puka.
Okay.
Yeah, Puka's most definitely going to be better, in my opinion.
No, I'm saying, do you think Devontae is going to do better than Devontae
Oh,
Smith?
as in
Devontae Adams going to do better than
Smitty.
Devontae Smith. Yeah.
Yes, Smitty, correct. Yes.
That could be a conversation, but no, I think Smitty is
Okay.
Smitty's gonna have a breakout year.
Okay.
All right. Common, do you want to hit on this before we end the podcast? Devontae
Absolutely.
Adams, does he move you?
Yeah, yes, he does, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Stafford is a gunslinger, and I think that just adds another weapon for him. You know what I mean? To throw bullets at. There's another target for him to throw bullets at, and I think he's going to thrive very well over there because I think McVay is going to actually put plays in designed for him to get open.
I mean, you got a lot of background noise. We can't hear you.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. All right, my bad. Anyway, like I said, I think that one, he's a gunslinger. All right. Well, I mean, Stafford is a gunslinger, and and that gives him another target to throw bullets at. And I think he's going to thrive, and I think McVay is going to design plays specifically for Devontae. You know what I mean, to thrive in. There's going to be certain routes where he's going to be the hot route, and I think, you know what I mean, and I think he's in a very good situation. They have a decent run game over there that's going to open up play action, and yeah, he's definitely going to. I think he's definitely going to be. His name is going to ring bells like it was in Green Bay this season. That's how I feel. And as far as Higbee gonna be fucking Higbee. He ain't never been nothing special. The fuck? I mean, my bad. What the hell?
And Adrian, I have one question for you.
Go ahead, brother.
I was looking last night. We didn't play Sutton yet. This is his last year. I mean, if say he has even another Sutton year, he's looking for Scary Terry type of money. Are you paying him?
That's what I'm saying. So what are we going to get out of our wide receiver core? What are we going to get out of Marvin Mims? What are we going to get out of Ches Johnson? What are we going to get out of these guys? Troy Franklin.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
if we can hit on the draft and on the receivers we have now, we're not going to pay Sutton. But at the same time, me and you both looked at it. Dude, Cortland Sutton has Scary Terry type numbers recently.
Yeah, and he's never been hurt.
And that's what I'm saying. So do we move forward?
Yeah,
or
I see paying these guys $35 million a year.
Sutton ain't gonna ask for $36 million a year, you know?
I mean, if Scary Terry's getting it and he bowls out and gets, say, 1,200 yards this year, I mean, in the long run, it's only 70, 80 yards a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, why wouldn't he?
Right. But we're gonna end this week. Week 4 is in the books.
Yes, sir.
Next Tuesday, week 5, we will break down another division. Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube, Facebook, IG, TikTok, Kick, X, Spotify, and Apple Music and Amazon Music. Just gonna sign off here. It was a good week, guys. We will break down another division next week. Everybody have a good week.
I don't know how to use 9 out of 10 of those apps, so good luck to everybody else.
Make sure you tell your grandpa. You can tell your grandma.
Asking for help.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'm not moving.
And also have a beautiful 4th of July. You cannot forget that.
Before July to everybody.
Have a happy 4th of
We got to have a 4th of July episode. We'll hit on that later, though.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, sir. God bless all the veterans.
Yep.
Thank you all for your service forever, whoever's watching.
Berg,
My gosh, can't speak.
Y'all that night on purpose.
all right.
Yes, sir.
Signing off. We'll see you next Tuesday.
All right. Peace.
Peace.